Alright, what's up everyone? I've gotten my hands on the latest set of proxies from the website guys. They've been hit or miss in the past, and the newest set is actually pretty scary with some hit or miss pieces individually, but most are real good. There's some changes that I want you to be aware of and some stuff that I wanted to chat about. What we're going to do is we're going to run through side by side with real cards to start, and then we're going to look at some foils, and then we'll talk about some of the features and changes that have happened to these and why they're a little bit scary to me, how they are now. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with some side by side. The first one is one that is standard playable. It's got the sticker. We're going to start with Hazard. The one on the left here, this one is actually fake. You can see the logo is pretty good. Coloring is actually closer than a lot of people led me to believe. I've been really impressed with this one. There's real. And here's fake. It's a little bit more saturated, but it's still really good. This one is probably the worst in the set. Blitzing Mire is hard to capture, but it's actually pretty dark comparatively. When I pull it up here, you might be able to get a feel for what I'm talking about. The left side is very dark, the picture is very dark. It's just, it looks pretty stark. That's real here. And then we've got fake. This is a little bit too vibrant for me, but in a matte sleeve, it's probably fine. The Misty Reinforce is real. All the gray ones are real. The Misty Reinforce is also maybe a little bit vibrant, but in a sleeve, it's probably not going to be an issue. Marsh Flats is actually rather good in my opinion. So that's fake. The tech on these are a little bit bolder, so watch out for that. You can see it here. That's real. And we got the fake. Pretty darn good. I would play in the sleeve. More of the same, more of the same. So the Gearhulk is hard to capture, and I'm going to just jump to that. The coloring just feels wrong. It's hard to capture in the picture because they look pretty decent side by side. I would not run that, especially considering it's a reasonably priced card in the first place. So I would be hesitant to do this. Liliana is actually probably one of the worst of this set that I have a real card to compare with, and I'm going to come back and show you why in a minute. Force of Will, I actually had some trouble telling when I was, oh, sorry. So you can see how the set symbol just looks way wrong. It's more vibrant and it's pixelated. I wouldn't use it. Force of Will is real good. I actually had trouble telling my real one from the fake when I had them in my hands. They've got the texture better. They've got the imaging better. It's scary actually. So Snapcaster. This one's a little bit colored. So you can see the blue is a little too vibrant. I'm going to put them side by side here. And you can see it's just not quite. It's close, but I wouldn't play Snapcaster. Cryptic is decent. I would not be too hesitant to play it. It's also a little bit more vibrant, but it's less egregious than Snapcaster. So I go side by side for that. So we're going to move on to, I believe I throw in the foils here. Let's see. So yeah, these are the expeditions. They look real good, and even if there's any coloring differences, foil hides that really nicely. The foiling is a little bit more foily than most of the traditional ones, but it's subtle, and I would probably be okay with playing these except for the fact that they're gonna get some maybe a little bit more inspection by folks. These two are the judges. The Judge Provost with an Imperial Seal and I think Force of Will here. You can see the star does not foil correctly. I know they've acknowledged this is an issue and they're working on fixing this, but if you look at it, it doesn't reflect the same way that a real Judge foil star would. I would not play these. They're great for cube though, they look super sweet, but I wouldn't play them in any way. And then we've got the rest of these foils. They look rather good. The text to me feels like it's a little bit off, but I don't have real foils to compare with, so I would be hesitant to say they're not playable. The Charm Coif is actually one of the best. I would play out in a heartbeat. Lily the Veil also looks decent, but I don't have a real foil to compare with, especially not in a set foil, so I'm not sure, but pretty good. So I know somebody's going to ask about how these look like in sleeves. Outside of sleeves, not really how people play these in tournament. And I've got a set of these laid out here. They're an Ultra Pro Pro Matte Eclipse. The Magus of the Moon is real, the rest are these fakes. And as you can see, they look readable. They look like real cards. Now, once we add a little bit of motion here, it's going to get a little different, and I want to point out a couple things. So, as you can see, it's kind of hard to catch in the camera, but the proxy / fake are ever so slightly more foily. They catch light in a slightly more intense way. And this is true across many different foilings. I've pulled out Magus of the Moon because it's a recent printing that all has the hollow foil. But the proxies are just ever so slightly, and they don't catch light quite the same way. I would be hesitant to run these in competitive events, but you could probably do it. So now I'm just going to run through these really quickly. These are the ones that I didn't have the same edition real printing to put next to. I'm not going to add too many comments unless something sticks out of me. Chalice is really good. I would play that in a heartbeat. I don't have any comments. I haven't played that card. I don't touch it. Bob looked a little dark to me in person, but it seemed fine. Blood Moon is a little bit vibrant. I probably would shy away from playing the Blood Moon. Verdant Catacombs, I've got real copies that's not this ad, and they look okay. Flusterstorm seemed reasonable, maybe a hint of vibrancy, but it's okay. Ugin, I haven't really put much eyes on a real one, I'm not sure. Fulminator actually looked surprisingly good. I would probably play that. Cavern, real bad. I would not run Cavern. Mana Drain seemed fine, but I don't have a lot of time with that card. Liliana seemed good. The foil is a little more tenuous, but that one's pretty solid. Armor Wave, yep, I would run it. Alright, I said it got a little scary, and this is where I'm going to start pointing out some cool stuff. This is a old version fake Vendilion Click. As you can see, the blacks in the set symbol are not the sharpest. And this isn't the best example, but you can kind of see they're printed not on a separate layer. You can see it's printed all as one layer. The rosette kind of bleeds into the blacks here. It's really tough to catch this on camera, but it is definitely happening. It was always the easiest to tell aside from texture. And if you look here, I'm going to bring out one of the new fakes. And it's a little bit freakish because they got the blacks definitely on another layer. It's hard to catch the sharpness of this, but it looks just like a real card. The blacks are printed separately, and this is on some of the newer symbols, not just, I think this was Modern Masters 2017, but they got that for Eternal Masters too. I'm going to pull out Force Will here in a second and show you the same exact thing. They haven't perfected this across all set symbols, but the newer ones for sure. So here's a Force of Will, and you can see they got the blacks printing on their own layer. It's sharp like a real card. It's scary, man. Good work, website guys.